don't look at the sea in the same way anymore. I'm on board an Imika 60, a sailboat participating in the ocean race. The ocean race is a crew race round the world in 7 stages. It's considered one of the world's toughest. And now I really know what they mean. My name is Antoine Auriol. I'm the on-board reporter. I watch, I film, I record, and I send via satellite link everything that happens at sea. My boat is called the Malaysia Sea Explorer. I'm Team Malaysia, and my captain is Boris Herrmann, the skipper of this incredible ocean-crossing vessel. I embarked on this adventure to live the ultimate experience of a round-the-world race, but also for the pleasure of the ports of call. On land, I seek out men and women who have a close connection to nature. This connection enables them to improve the quality of their lives as they work to protect nature and even help its regeneration. As a privileged passenger of the ocean race, I get to meet all these people during the stopovers on my first trip around the world. A trip around the world by sail, aboard a fabulous boat, the Malaysia Sea Explorer. After leaving Alicante and making a first port of call in Cape Verde, we reach Capitaine in South Africa. Boris, how did you get into sailing?
I started with my parents. They took me on board when I was 6 weeks old. Just a little baby in a bag. That went well, so then they started taking me with them every weekend and on holiday on a small, steel, 7-meter sailing boat with bilges. A very, very simple boat. Then when I was 6, my dad bought me an Optimist.
Among the major races in which Boris Herrmann has competed, we can number the Route de Rome and the Vendée Globe. His first experiences were in the North Sea, near Oldenburg in Germany, in Jade Bight. That was where he discovered his passion for sailing. Do you remember how it felt to be sailing alone for the first time in your little Optimist?
Yes, I remember. It was just kids having a bit of fun in sailboats. It wasn't competitive. There was nothing about performance. But even as a kid, I think you feel the responsibility. You see the effect you're having on your little boat, the control you have over it. And that was a fantastic feeling when I was 6 or 7. It feeds this feeling that you're managing by yourself, or that you have to manage by yourself. When we're deep in the south, it'll only be us. There'll be no one to help us. And I think that's a rare feeling to get as a little kid on a small dinghy. You're responsible for it, all on your own, checking out the wind, changing direction, making sure you don't crash into another boat. You're battling with nature. It's on a different scale now, but it's sort of the same thing.
After 16 days at sea, I can't wait to set foot on terra firma. It's crazy just how good the sand feels under my feet. In my head, I'm still pitching, but I have to admit that this is really nice. To get even more out of my travels, I've set myself a goal: which is to always look for places where nature seems unspoiled and perfectly preserved, and I never know where I might come across such places. These sanctuaries show us that all is not yet lost, that with a bit of optimism and a lot of determination, we can still save our planet from the dangers that are smothering it. In the distance, behind the dunes, towers the famous Cape of Good Hope. Cape, what am I saying? A landmark for all those sailors who since the 15th century have sailed around it to India. Making your way around the coast of South Africa with its beaches of fine white sand, going for a swim is a no-brainer. But for the children of poor families in the townships, the ghettos in which most black South Africans still live, the sea is too far away. The association I Am Water has decided to take on this paradox. It welcomes children and youngsters who don't get the chance to swim. The sea is there, they can see it, but they don't get to enjoy it.
I Am Water is an ocean conservation organization. We deal with kids between the ages of 12 to 13 years old, and we take them out on a 2-day ocean workshop, and we take them into the water.
Do you feel that before coming in I Am Water Association, they already know the ocean, or they are a little bit like lost?
Yeah, usually they are a bit lost. They're very scared. For most people, it is a new experience, and we love working with kids that's coming for the first time to the ocean.
Slowly, then we're gonna pick up the pace. Go a little faster.
Before getting in the water and discovering the ocean for the first time, the youngsters take part in workshops, which help them get over any fear they might have. Some of them can't even swim. The monitors reveal to them the abundance of nature right there at their fingertips, with which they're totally unfamiliar. They help them make the connection between the world out there and their inner worlds, and forget for a short while the everyday problems they face.
Okay, hands by your side, feel your toes, everything, just listen to the sound of the ocean.
So the idea is to generate in them awareness about the ocean, and maybe change their life in a way.
So that's what we target and we focus on. Then to actually tell them like, hey, pollution, or all the points or things that the ocean is struggling with at this moment. We choose to give them experience, and once we give them experience, they get to see animals, they get to share the experience with family members, and in that way they will fall in love with it. And once they fall in love, they will protect the ocean.
Yeah, I could see a lot of joy today, and lots of interest.
So I used to do lifeguarding in that sense, and then I saw I Am Water on the beach, and I was like, this is something I really want to do. I'm big on outside learning, and I always wanted to be involved. And funny enough, 6 years later, I started as a coach, and now I'm a lead coordinator with the organization.
Well done, it's good.
It's important for me because just to impact and touch another kid's life, because I come from an ocean background.
Do you know what this is? The water cycle. I'm sure all of you know how the water cycle works, right? So the ocean is also the main source of the water cycle. So in the rain, it will rain down and will flow into the underground water stream, and then we do think it will open back into the ocean. So it's a continuous cycle that goes around and around and around endlessly. So no new water is ever created. Will you believe me if I told you drinking the same water that dinosaurs used to drink when they were on planet Earth? So we should actually be saying thank you to the ocean for the oxygen that we breathe.
Thank you. Thank you,
Let's say that. Thank you, ocean.
Thank you, ocean. And in the middle of the ocean, sometimes it's weird just to see a random bottle floating around. And I was thinking, wow, it's impressive. I didn't believe that. I couldn't believe that I could see that.
Hopefully that bigger organizations and businesses out there can stop the use of plastic.
Yeah, and I would like also to know, whenever you want to find peace, Where do you go here around Cape Town in terms of landscape?
In landscape, Cederberg. The Cederberg. Yeah, Cederberg Mountains are beautiful. If you ever want to go camp and do some hiking trails or just chill in the mountains, my best place.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So after the ocean, a bit of mountain.
Yeah.
And relaxing.
And relaxing.
Is nice.
It's the best place.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I will remember. So Monterey,
yeah.
You are water, right?
Yes, I am water. One, two, three. I'm water!
Kelp is an elongated type of seaweed, characteristic of the seabed of South Africa. It's nicknamed underwater bamboo. I pull on it like on a creeper to drag myself down to the bottom. The water's cold, at about 14 degrees. The Benguela current, a cold current which comes up from the Antarctic, mixes with the coastal waters. The sea here is so rich in nutrients that it's home to an incredible number of species. Swimming among the kelp, I could come across a sea lion spinning around underwater, or a shark. Here it's a harmless broad-nosed seven-gill shark, and it's a real stroke of luck to see one. Quite magical. All the sargassum is mind-blowing. There really is more and more of it. As well as taking part in the race, the Malaysia Sea Explorer is carrying out another mission. This one's scientific. The Ocean Pack, an onboard mini laboratory, is continually drawing up seawater for analysis. Temperature, salinity, and CO2 content are all recorded in order to gauge the level of acidity of the marine environment. Do you feel you're making a contribution when you supply the scientists with all this data, knowing that it will then be analysed and will have an impact on ecology?
Yes, the data we collected during the Vendée Global Race, for example, for 2 years, was the only data, practically the only database for the entire southern Indian Ocean and southern Pacific. Which means that it was really important for the scientists, for their work on understanding the relationship between the climate and the ocean, insofar as the ocean absorbs CO2. There's CO2 in the atmosphere because we're burning coal and oil, and that mixes easily into the atmosphere. But the process whereby it enters the ocean is quite complex. The emissions of the last 10 years will have an impact on the oceans in 40, 50, or 100 years. So for the science of global warming, having an exact understanding of CO2 and how it's transferred is really important.
Another activity that helps with scientific research is the placing along our journey of submerged beacons, which will collect data for 4 to 5 years. As the motto of the Malaysia Sea Explorer puts it, the race against global warming and pollution is the only race we really have to win.
These are the only boats that voyage through all these different zones, so we're the only people who can access all this data.
We could question the necessity of throwing into the sea these devices which contain plastic, metal, and various other polluting materials. But the scientists need solid data to prove to the world's decision makers that an endangered sea will soon no longer be able to fulfill its role as a capture of CO2.
The problem of global warming hasn't been solved. We still don't have a handle on it. Emissions are still increasing worldwide, and it's not easy to live in a situation of uncertainty like this. What are we doing on a daily basis? Do we have the right to do it? If we're flying here and there every few weeks or so in order to take part in our beautiful sport, shouldn't we just stop all that? Isn't everything we're doing completely wrong? So I really hope we're going to find the solutions to all the problems faced by civilization.
Modern humans need figures and data to take action, when the poetry and beauty of nature should be enough to encourage us to change our way of life. In South Africa, there are animals everywhere. Zebras cross the road. Baboons yawn in the trees. It's enough to just open your eyes, to take in the scope of nature, to sail the ocean, to understand how lucky we are. There is no planet B, and until proved otherwise, there isn't another planet teeming with life anywhere else in the universe. Voices in South Africa are being raised in defense of nature, usually those of the youngest. Five years ago, Boris Herrmann took Greta Thunberg on the Malaysia 2 to New York to warn the powerful of the world at the headquarters of the UN itself about the ongoing climate catastrophe. It was a historical milestone. I have a game of ping pong with Yola Mkokwana, who was born and grew up in Cape Town. Like Greta Thunberg, she decided while still very young, aged only 11, that action was a necessity. Climatic disturbances and global warming aren't just figures for her, but a reality which had a violent effect on her childhood.
What's the climate change for you?
So to me, climate change is the reason that me and my community and people living in informal settlements like me and my family suffer. Like we have these, like the hardships, like for example, drought and floods. They're like the main effect that I can remember of climate change occurring where I live is drought. There was, I think back in 2019, we were hit by day zero. Day zero, it was the day when we were expected not to have clean drinking water, and our water was short, like water shortages, and it was really a tough time for everyone because imagine having to live without having water, having access to clean drinking water. As we all know that it's like every child's right and every human right to have, water, clean drinking water.
And how long did it last?
We did not have water for like 3 weeks. And imagine how tough that is.
Yes.
Usually they'd, be trucks that would usually come once a week, to give us water. But you know how these things work. People would usually fight over water, and it was so sad to see all people fighting over water. It's really sad, because water is our basic human right, and it's every human right to have water.
Yola, do you think that Greta inspires you and the young generation as well?
Well, yes. She's such an inspiration to young people. I really find her so inspiring, so yeah.
A few years ago, you were 11 years old, and you started to really think about the planet and how to protect her. How come you had this moment in your life?
I began my activism when I was 11 years old. I joined back in primary, I joined a club called like the Eco Warriors, and it's where it was an extramural activity club where we'd usually learn about the environment and what is happening and also gardening. And there was this day when our topic was about climate change and global warming, and I was so curious and wanted to learn more, and was so invested in learning more about these two terms because it was actually my first time learning about them. And when I actually got into deep about this climate change term, I wanted to be the voice of change and to spread awareness and letting everyone involved in fighting against climate change and everyone knowing so that we can know and fight together.
Today, she's come to a primary school where the pupils tend to their own little organic garden. For Yola, it's all about education.
Show us.
Izan Pambi. We have green pepper and cabbage. It's
Spinach?
cabbage and then spinach.
And this one too?
Hey, in Jordan, fig. Yeah, fig.
Fig?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
What's
eat
your
it.
favorite?
Yeah. What's your favorite fruit? Strawberry.
Strawberry? And you? Banana? What's the name of your own language?
Isikosa.
That's your language?
Yes.
Again?
Isikosa.
Isi Osa.
I can take that, yeah.
It's hard. Isi Osa.
Yes.
We are not so far away from the Cape of Good Hope here. What would be your hope for the future?
So my hope for the future is, to stop the talking. We've been talking a lot, and we've been talking like this many years, and it's not like they don't know what's happening or anything. They know everything, and I feel like now it's time now. They just just give it in and do what's right. And a world where we're all going to be living sustainably, educated about climate change. So yeah.
South Africa offers up vistas which leave you slack-jawed. It's nature in its raw state, bountiful, but potentially hostile for human beings. You don't swim just anywhere off the coast of Cape Town. Not all sharks are as harmless as the broad-nosed seven-gill, but this sea we're sailing across is their home. Following several attacks in 2004, great whites, makos and copper sharks are now watched from the beaches to avoid accidents. And they are, above all, protected by the association Shark Spotters.
You in this Shark Spotters organization, what do you do?
Yes, so I head up the education for Shark Spotters. My job is very important because I am able to educate and bring awareness around shark safety and understanding sharks in general.
A permanent solution was needed so that humans and sharks can coexist. The method chosen was a protective net set up all around the beach.
First thing, before we enter the ocean, we communicate with our mountain spotter. We ask him if it's safe to enter the ocean and is there any animal sightings in our corner where we deploy them. That's the first thing we do.
And where are they?
They're sitting up in a mountain in a little green hut.
The one that we see there?
Yes, sir.
And when was the last time they saw something?
The last time they saw a shark was about last week. Yeah, and it
Big
was
one?
a bronze whaler.
Is it big shark?
Not that big, less than 2 meters.
And then what happened? Alarm?
Yes. So when they do spot a shark, immediately they communicate with the beach spotter, raise an alarm, change the flag, and get the people out of the water as soon as possible.
When I hear the word net, my hair stands on end. Nets are often murderous for sharks, but also for marine mammals. But the Shark Spotters are a clever lot.
And why do you install it every day and you take it off every day.
We don't want any whales or dolphins to get tangled in it tonight, at night, and in the morning we come, we have a problem, you see.
So it's also to protect the other fish.
Yes, it benefits both human life and the sea life.
So it protects the other fishes, the humans, but also the sharks as well.
Yes, dolphins and stuff, like dolphins and stuff, we don't want them to get caught.
It's fresh, huh? Put some tension up. I undo this one. I close it. Yeah.
Sometimes the net doesn't unfurl smoothly or get stuck, and the shark spotters have to get in the water. Well, if they're going in, so will I. The net isn't fully deployed, so there's always the fear of making an unfortunate encounter. A dark silhouette in the water, and all your senses prick up. But no panic this time. It's a moonfish.
And the members of Shark Spotters, what's their background?
Ocean View is a marginalized community, quite under-resourced, and a lot of our staff members that come from that community, here at Shark Spotters, we offer them an opportunity to upskill themselves as well, to better themselves, to grow the same with the organization, because, you know, we foster a sense of nurturing in what we do always, so we are able to give them opportunities that they haven't had in the past.
It becomes their work?
Oh yes, and it becomes their work, but as well as they are passionate about conservation, they are passionate about marine life, and so they are quite extensively involved in their work, and they put all their love and effort into what they do.
It's very important for me because I learn more about other species. I get to know more species. I get to know what's in the water than what's on the land, and so for me it's great, yeah.
And how do you feel every morning when you come here?
I feel good because I'm serving a purpose.
Are you happy to do this job?
Yes, I think that being in a conservation field, you need to come with a passion, because your job at the end of the day is not just about you, but you involve the entire community. You are caring for the earth, and you have to have a lot of passion coming into this to be able to engage with the public, to interact with various animals, etc. So it's definitely the joy of my day.
Good, so you have a purpose every day.
Yeah.
The Cape of Good Hope is named Cape of Good Hope.
Yes.
What's your hope for the future?
My hope is that more people would get involved in these types of activations. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. We only have one Earth.
Yes, and one life.
One life.
Maybe not. In my next life, I would like to be an albatross.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
Well, then in that case, I'd like to be a shark.
Ah, yeah. You would like?
Yeah.
What kind of shark?
And I'd probably be a great white shark, top of the food chain.
All right. I wouldn't like to see you. Yeah, from above I could. I could say hi. Yeah. Good.
I'd reach from below.
There are 70 shark spotters spread out over 8 beaches around Cape Town. Every evening, they have to haul the nets out of the sea using sheer brute strength. But a result of all this daily effort is that the children of South Africa can play in the waves free of care. sea, despite all the thousands of miles already covered, I have to admit to being a bit disappointed by how few creatures we've encountered. It's my first time sailing so far from land, and I don't know if this is normal. Fortunately, there are always my friends, the albatrosses. Seeing an albatross in flight gives you the feeling that time is unchanging and life is eternal, the way the bird never seems to need to return to Earth. It flies endlessly over the ocean, brushing the waves with a caress of its feathers. Have you seen a lot of albatrosses?
Yeah. What I love about albatrosses is that they barely move their wings as they fly close to the waves like that. It's the energy from the waves against the air which makes the air rise, I think. And they use that and can just glide endlessly over the waves. It's the most efficient glider, the most efficient bird. And sometimes they slightly brush the waves with their wings.
I've just made a new friend here on the boat. I think it's a sooty shearwater. He's my new pal. A bird capable of impressively long migrations over the oceans. Gonna take a selfie. On land, I'm kept amused by the little Cape penguins. They, like sea lions, are a permanent feature of the Cape Town coastline. They live in groups on the rocks. 1, 2, 3, see you. Hey, the little white one there, you moved. The little black one just on the left too. You shook your head. A break on land for me. If the wind picks up, it's a stopover in the air. On the Malaysia, the sea is vast. Kitesurfing by the coast, the sea becomes a garden or a playground once more.
6 feet underground is the only thing we 6 feet underground is the only thing we 6 feet underground is the only thing we share.
Wind, flight, lightness, the sensations I love when I'm kitesurfing. But unlike the albatross, gravity always ends up getting the better of me. When social and economic problems abound in a country, ecological concerns are relegated to a minor priority. Still, it seems insane that a country which benefits from such powerful marine currents, sunshine and wind, doesn't rethink the way it produces electricity, making as swift a change as possible towards cleaner, sustainable energy. It's pretty sad, and it takes a blackout to make people aware of the problem.
happening?
Hello. That is when the city doesn't have enough power to supply everybody in the city.
So they cut the electricity?
So they cut the electricity, sometimes 3 times a day.
How long does it last when there is load shedding?
Like tonight, we're going to go through 2 hours from now, 8 till 10. Yeah.
So is it a big problem in South Africa?
It is a very huge problem because it affects the whole country.
But I can see more lights in the background. Why that?
Yeah. It's a very sad situation because we see this every day, every night. That part of Cape Town, that doesn't really get load shedding, and we complain about it all the time.
So the government decides to do some load shedding for everyone,
Yeah.
but in the end, some people always have got electricity.
Yes.
There is an unbalanced
It's a serious imbalance.
situation.
And, you know, and it really, really makes people very unhappy that this is going on. And if you look at the townships, it is so sad where the people live in shacks and with complete darkness. It's so crazy, it's so dangerous. So we feel a lot of sadness towards that.
What is producing the energy in South Africa?
Coal.
Coal.
Yeah,
This is the main one.
coal energy.
Here in South Africa, there is lots of sun, lots of wind. I guess there are solutions that exist.
Yes, they are. I think what we are all doing is trying to save our businesses. So we're going to go solar. Everybody's just buying little panels, and we've got 3 so far.
It's crazy because tonight it's Friday night and you are a business.
Yes.
And it must have an impact on your life.
It does have a big impact because the restaurant is nice. We can go with low candles, but the kitchen suffers a lot.
Yes.
So we don't carry a lot of stock now. Now we have to buy every second day vegetables. We go to the market. The fish store is not far from us, so we try and buy fresh produce most of the time. It's extremely exhausting, but it's the safest way if you're doing especially fish and chicken. And then, of course, we cook what we have. Fish for today is fish we cook, and it's finished. So it's a big challenge for us.
The Malaysia is a planet on a tiny scale. The boat has to deal with all these questions of energy production, the sharing of resources, and waste management concentrated in one vessel. But okay, it's easier with 5 people than with 8 billion. To power its electronics, or the automatic pilot, the Malaysia Sea Explorer tops up its energy needs with solar panels and turbines under the hull. Fresh water for washing is kept to an appropriate level. Even space is counted. I sleep in a tiny berth deep in the boat. So here I am in the dark bedroom. This is my bedroom. Is this tiny space, which is basically just a sort of tray on which I lie down to sleep. But it can be pretty hard at times, clambering my way into here. And every movement is a mission in itself. Sharing life on board isn't always easy, but it works. It works because we all obey the same rules, each one of us mindful of the needs of everyone else. Monray from I Am Water said to me, if you want to find real untouched nature, then you should go and discover Cedarburg Nature Preserve. I'd stored the destination away in a part of my brain. Cedarburg's park covers an area 7 times the size of Paris. And it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Davy owns land here, and on his farm, everything is calculated to have the minimum impact on this region that has so far been so well preserved from the depredations of the modern world.
You try to do it hand by hand with nature.
Yeah, there's a fine line, a silver line between farming, because farming is agriculture and it will have an effect in nature, but there is also ways where we can make it work between farming and nature, and you know, using less pesticides, only plowing when it's really needed to plow, do alien clearing. You try and manage it, but in an environmental friendly way.
This nature preserve is one of the great sanctuaries of Africa. Nature here is queen, with cedars that are 400 years old, some even older.
We are in the Cederberg Mountains. What does Cederberg mean?
It's basically the Cederberg is well known, and after the iconic cedar tree.
The cedars at the Cape are of the Cupressaceae family. The ancestors of these trees witnessed the very first steps of a new and unusual sort of hominid, one which would populate the world.
The view is just amazing here.
Yeah, I feel the views when you're up in the mountains where only you and just wild.
And why are those trees so important?
This tree is iconic species. It's going extinct. It's basically, they say it survived the last ice age. It was 250 million years back. This is why it's so important. It's got a real cultural history, rich in history far back.
They only grow here in this area?
Yeah, this Klein William cedar, they only grow in the Cederberg.
They are endemic, right?
Yeah, they're endemic to this area.
To fight against the gradual extinction of the Cape cedars, which are in fact cypresses, Davy uses a method developed by the Australian company Airseed. He is literally waging war on the desert, using a drone to drop seed bombs.
We are using a drone to look for specific spots where fires struggle to get. And we're also getting the community involved in nurseries and planting out saplings.
A single drone can plant 40,000 seeds per day of 16 different species. The seeds are enveloped in a nutritive casing which increases their chances of germinating. It's this successful marriage of wild nature and technology that makes it possible to regreen previously inaccessible areas.
How come you decided so young to come here and to have this special life connected to nature?
Yeah, I think it's your childhood that you grew up with. Learning about nature from an early stage, really putting heart and soul into the veld, into the area here, and in nature, and putting it back. And what have you, as human, left behind for other people to experience that love nature and the same stuff you love for life, for what it is?
It's beautiful.
It's dry, rocky, a semi-desert, yet with a scattering of bushes and herbs perched up high. The cedars decorate the red and ochre rocks with a refreshing green, drawing up the water which keeps them alive.
What you see under the ocean if you would swim here now.
Yeah, with all the currents and the waves, yeah.
Yeah, this is the typical lines you see, sandstone with the different layers.
Yeah, I want to touch it. I want to touch that rock.
Yeah, and that's what I say, this stuff looks for me like a sponge. It is like a sponge.
Oh, yeah.
So it attracts all the water, especially when it warms up at nighttime, and during the day it warms up, and at nighttime it cools off, and all that moisture it pulls in, and that's where the cedar trees get its moisture from. All the nutrients is under the rock, all the moisture, and that benefits the cedar tree at the end. Yeah.
Yeah, everything is linked.
Yeah, everything is linked.
Why did you choose this place?
We got an opportunity to work here in the Cederberg, and since then it started to become basically you grow with the Cederberg. It really it grows on you. It grows on you from through your blood, through your passion, the way you think of life, and it's becoming just one special place.
So you feel part of nature?
No, definitely. I can't, I mean, I feel almost like the visitor, and I look at how we can still preserve this area and keep it special and unique and clean and untouched. And I think that's a big challenge for us all that's living here, and taking the advantage to actually be here and living the dream, you know.
The breeze caresses you at the summit of these rocky hills, known as Inselbergs. These natural formations give this landscape its rhythm, while the wind rushing through provides the music.
Wow. So nice.
Yeah.
And when I see that, right now I understand why you want to stay here and protect this place.
Yeah, definitely. It's a small island.
I would call it a small paradise.
Yeah, it is.
I can feel there is a special energy.
Yeah, it really grows on you.
Each Inselberg is like a solidified cloud, and like with clouds, you can have fun finding the shapes of animals or faces in them. It's a game you often find yourself playing at sea. Yes, at Cedarburg, I really did find a sanctuary. Boris, we'll soon be setting sail for 40 days. I'm pretty stressed about it because it's the longest stretch I'll have ever been at sea. What will happen to us, do you think? You've done it before. You've already sailed down there in the southern seas.
Yes, I've been around Cape Horn 5 times. So that's 5 times in the southern seas. 4 times around the world.
Will you be setting out on this stage with equanimity, or do you sometimes think about the worst-case scenarios of what could happen to us?
I rarely have any fear about our health or lives, or really our safety at sea. I don't have any fear in that sense. What I do fear is not succeeding, of there being some stupid technical problem which prevents us making it all the way and vying for position right to the end. We're going to give it all we've got, so we deserve to succeed, I think. We deserve some success. We've built this boat. We've given ourselves the means to be here. So this is our moment. And I'm afraid of missing that, simply because we're lacking a cable, or a cable is torn away from the mast. Lots of things can happen. That's sort of my thing, thinking a bit too much about that. But it's really a tough boat. It's not going to break in two. We can be sure of that. It's a very seaworthy vessel. So there's little that can happen to us that would put us in danger for our lives.
We're not far here from the Cape of Good Hope. What's your hope for the future?
My hope for the future is that the meaning, the energy and the passion of this sport can be an example for the people with whom we come into contact. In the companies that partner with us, for example, so that they change their businesses, they change their economic ecosystem and think more about the preservation of our planet. To me, this means we take on more responsibility as sports people. Use the attention that's given to us to pass on this message.
Thanks, Boris. It's done me good talking to you, because 40 days at sea is going to be pretty intense for me. It'll be my first time, so seeing you so calm about it makes me calm too, and I'm sure it'll be a beautiful adventure. Thank you. We leave Cape Town. The next stage of the ocean race starts in the southern seas, with a distance of 23,600 kilometers to cover. and 3 iconic capes to round, including the legendary Cape Horn at the southernmost point of South America. So many challenges, so many risks to come, but I'm ready. I've had my feet on dry land again, on sand, on rock. I've had the time to meet people who are deeply convinced in their very hearts that it's worth devoting time, dedicating their lives to protecting nature. I want to keep that strength and optimism inside me. Right now, we've hoisted the mainsail, and we have the full team Malaysia ready to give all they've got to win this stage, the longest and the most difficult of the ocean race. The Malaysia Sea Explorer is flying like a spaceship. I have the wind in my hair and the sea in my eyes, and I know we're going to have an extraordinary adventure, which will take us all the way to Brazil, if the sea is willing.